Welcome to part 3 of this lecture on experiential learning. In part 2, we looked at Kolb's 4-stage theoretical model of experiential learning, the 4 phases being concrete experience, reflective observation, abstract conceptualization, and active experimentation. In this section of the lecture, we will look briefly at some of the techniques or strategies that facilitators can utilize to engage students in the different phases of the experiential cycle, and then we will discuss Kolb's learning style inventory. The aim of experiential learning is to get learners directly involved in the teaching and learning process. And so, at the concrete experiential phase, learning activities may include fieldwork, study tours, small group discussions, simulation exercises and drama techniques, the use of videos, films, case studies, personal stories, anything that allows the learner to engage with an active experience. The next phase is the reflective observation phase. Learners may be encouraged to keep personal journals, which provide a safe place for free expression of thoughts and feelings regarding an experience. The learners can also engage in writing reflective essays, and these allow the learners to examine an experience or situation through reflection. The learner writes about the experience, describing insights gained, or just expressing their views on some experience. Another tool may be a portfolio, and this is useful in encouraging reflective observation. It is a collection of evidence that is gathered together to show a person's learning journey over time and demonstrate their abilities and new knowledge. The portfolio further provides an opportunity for the learner to reflect on their learning and to gain new perspectives of their experiences. Other learning methods in this phase may include observation reports, discussions, and debates. In the abstract conceptualization phase, some methods may include lecturing, students building models, which may be mental models or physical models, depending on the subject area. Models demonstrate the acquisition of new skills and knowledge and how to engage those competencies to solve new problems. But in addition, learners can also be assigned research projects which allow them to theorize and construct new knowledge. The focus here is to develop new knowledge, new skills, new competencies. In the active experimentation phase, students can engage again in fieldwork, in projects, lab work, games, any of those activities that were used in the concrete experimentation phase, because here again it is actively engaging with the process. And this now provides concrete experiences on which the learner will reflect further. So now, let's look at Kolb's learning style inventory. If you should survey any group of learners in a class, you will find that they differ in several ways. They may be different in terms of physical appearance. Some may be short, some may be tall, and they may differ in terms of their social characteristics. Some may be outgoing and assertive while others are reserved. They may present with various emotional characteristics, some self-assured, optimistic, others pessimistic, and even egotistical. Likewise, our participants are not homogeneous in their approach to learning, and so they should not be treated as such. This variation in our approach to learning is what Kolb's learning style inventory seeks to address. So his first learning style he calls accommodating. And this is a combination of active, concrete learning skills. So the accommodating learning style is hands-on. The learners enjoy concrete learning. They tend to rely on intuition or gut feeling rather than logic. People with accommodating learning styles will tend to rely on others for information rather than carrying out their own analysis. The learners here prefer to take a practical, experiential approach to doing things. They are attracted to new challenges and experiences and executing plans. The accommodating learner would prefer to jump in and test the waters rather than giving time to think through and conceptualize. But they also enjoy working in teams. This learning style is very common in the general population. The next learning style Kolb calls the diverging learning style, which is a combination of the concrete and reflective styles. As these people like to have a feel of things and make mental notes through observation and reflection, they most likely are willing to have new ideas. They like to work in teams to brainstorm ideas as they look at concrete experiences from different perspectives. They love to gather information and use their intuition and imagination to provide solutions to problems. They are also very sensitive and are open to feedback from others, and they like to ask the why question. The converging learner are people who are active experimenters and like to provide practical solutions to any given problem. They prefer technical tasks and are less concerned with people and interpersonal aspects of a situation. They like to spend time alone and work independently on various parts of a problem. Because they are strong in doing and thinking, they need constant stimulus to work on. They are not interested in how questions, and they have the ability to find solution to those things. The assimilating learner, these are analytical people. The assimilating learner prefers to be involved in concise, logical thinking. They like to watch and think through things and are adept at creating mental models. Like convergers, assimilators like to work alone. People with assimilating learning style are less focused on people and are more interested in ideas and abstract concepts. These people require good, clear explanations rather than a practical opportunity. They excel at understanding wide-ranging information and organizing it in a clear, logical format. Having gone through these different learning styles, the question is, how does the facilitator accommodate all these varying learning styles as they prepare their various lessons? That is the challenge. Now let's review what we covered in this series of lectures. We began by looking at what are learning theories. And then we gave specific focus to the experiential learning theory, looking at Kolb's 6 principles of experiential learning, looking at his 4-stage theoretical model, and then we looked at some techniques to apply the stages of the experiential learning in our classes, and finally we looked at Kolb's learning style inventory. Now let's reflect. And here are 2 questions for you to reflect on as we bring this lecture to a close. The first is, what techniques have you been using in your classes? And secondly, how would you change your practice based on your knowledge of how Kolb's learning style inventory is?